Hello everyone, I am Kajal Jha, lecturer in Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering, Electronic Engineering Materials. Subject code is 22217 of the EJ department. In a previous video, we done with the emissions of the electrons from metals and energy levels of the molecules. In this video, we will go for the brief description of the emissions, that is thermal emissions, thermionic emission, photoelectric emission, then secondary emission, like that. Okay, so let's see. First is the thermionic emission. Thermionic emission is the process of evaporation which takes place, which takes place when some conduction band electrons in the metallic cathode have a sufficient kinetic energy to escape from the surface. Okay, this is nothing but the emission of the electrons. Okay, emission of the electrons means what? It is the when the process of thermionic emission is what is the process of evaporation that takes place when some conduction band electrons in the metallic cathode have a sufficient energy to escape from the surface. Okay, that is some electrons get the kinetic energy to sufficient or to remove from the surface. Okay, from to leave the surface. This emission is of the this is nothing but the emission of that electrons. So the thermionic emission is depends upon the distribution of the energy among the conduction electrons, that is free electrons. Okay, so present in the cathode, the energy distribution among the conduction band electrons is a function of temperature. If an electron is to escape from the metal, then it has to satisfy the following conditions. First condition is what? It should have a component of a velocity. Okay, it should have a component of velocity, that is mu, at right angles to the surface. Okay, after that, corresponding kinetic energy, the electrons should be, that is corresponding kinetic energy is what? 1 by 2 mu square, must be at least equal to the work done in passing through the surface. After that, this is denoted by EE. The energy correspond to the escape level. Since the free electrons in a metal, since the free electrons in the metal move at a random, not all of those whose total kinetic energies exceed the EE will have sufficient energy in the right direction to escape. Only a certain proportion will do so, and these will constitute the thermionic emission. So the minimum excess energy necessary for the thermionic emission is given by phi is equal to EE minus EF, where phi is nothing but work function of the metal and EF is nothing but the Fermi level. So work function is what? The work function of a metal phi is defined as the minimum excess energy necessary for the thermionic emission to take place. So the emission current is nothing but the current constituted by the thermionic electrons is dependent on the value of work function to a great extent. As the value of work function increases, the thermionic emission becomes a more and more difficult. So we can estimate the value of work function by measuring the emission current as a function of temperature. So this is all about the thermionic emission. Okay, so choice of cathode materials. The choice of cathode materials in a vacuum tubes is based on ace of electron emission or or electron affinity. Okay, so the current emitted per unit area of a metal is given by J is equal to AT square e raised to minus phi kt, where phi is work function of the metal, after that k is Boltzmann constant, T is absolute temperature and A is thermionic emission constant. So cathode materials we use here. So first, thermionic emission constant A should be universal constant for all the metals. Its value is 120 amperes per centimeter square per degree square, but practically it is not so. So its values varies and its value is very low for a certain materials. After that, cathode material. Okay, so cathode materials are tungsten, then thoriated tungsten. After that, a mixture of barium oxide and strontium oxide. Okay, so the operating temperature for these materials are approximately 2500 degree, after that 1900 degree and 1100 degree respectively. Some applications of the thermionic emissions is what? Thermionic emissions not, it is the cathode materials. That is, these typical applications of thermionic emissions are the vacuum tubes, after that a cathode ray tube, that is CRT, then camera tube and picture tube in TV, etc. After that we go for photoelectric emission. The photoelectric emission, this involves the interaction of light with the electrons, showing that light has quantum qualities. In a photoelectric emission, a beam of light of frequency V interacts with electrons only in a discrete quantities of a energy hv, where h is Planck's constant. The electrons have acquired additional energy in order to reach the escape level EE. In other words, emission is possible only if an individual quantum of a light has a sufficient energy above the escape energy. The necessary condition of emission is HV is greater than or equal to E phi, where phi is a work function is expressed in electron volts. Okay, so what photoelectric emission is nothing but this is the if we direct a beam light. Okay, if you see here, if we direct the beam light here to the metal plate, okay, to the metal piece or metal plate, then the sufficient high frequency onto a clean metal surface, then the incident light will cause the movement, electrons to leave the surface. If you see here, some electrons leave the surface here. Okay, so the light rays are of a sufficient high frequency, which is incident on the metal piece. Then some electrons, because of that light, some electrons will cause to leave the surface. This is called as photoelectric emission. The photoelectric effect is a phenomenon of emission of electrons by metals when they are exposed to light of a suitable frequency. Such emitted electrons are called as photoelectrons. Okay, such emitted electrons are called as photoelectrons because the electrons are exposed, because the electrons leave the surface, or emission of the electrons by the metal when it is exposed to light. So such emitted electrons are called as photoelectrons. So under any circumstances, one photon can eject only one photoelectron. So the work function phi depends on the two factors, that is cleanliness of that surface and second is the purity of metal. So if the photoelectric emission is a start, the electron will have to acquire additional energy from the incident light so as to reach the escape energy level EE. So this is nothing but the photoelectric emission. And selection of material is what? For a photoelectric emission, the material which has a low value of work function, that is phi, is selected for a photoelectric emission because in a photoelectric emission electrons are emitted by the metal. Okay, after that, for example, potassium is preferred over copper because potassium has a low value of phi, that is work function, as compared to that of copper. After that, photoconductivity, the increase electric conductivity due to the incident light of a adequate frequency and intensity is known as the photoconductive effect or photoconductivity. So photovoltaic cell is what? In a addition of photoconductive and emissive cells, a third type also exists, which is called as photovoltaic or a barrier layer cell. In a photovoltaic cell, the incident light is produced and an EMF between two substances, such as layer of a cuprous oxide or on a copper or selenium layer on a iron. Means what? Photovoltaic cell is what? When we incident light, okay, then it will produce the EMF between two substances. So this is nothing but the photovoltaic cell. Some applications, that is in the illumination application and in the exposure meter, we use it. After that, applications of photoelectric effect in a door openers, then position control applications, after that temperature control, then counters, color analysis, then photoelectric cell, and after that photo multiplier tube. In that we use the photoelectric effect, okay, in such applications. After that, secondary emission. Secondary emission, what is the principle of secondary emission? It has been observed that the it has been observed that when a solid surface uh, is bombarded by electrons of adequately high energy, okay, then secondary electrons are emitted from the solid surface. The electrons being bombarded are called as primary electrons. The number of secondary electrons will depend on the energy of the primary electrons. For the primary electrons with a higher energy, the number of secondary electrons is much higher than the number of primary electrons. The secondary emission phenomenon is observed in the thermionic valves with a large number of electrodes or in the fluorescent tube of a cathode ray oscilloscope. So the amount of secondary emitted electrons depends largely upon the impurities and the contamination of the emitting surfaces. So the secondary emission ratio is given by, so it is defined as secondary emission ratio is nothing but it is the number of secondary electrons to the number of primary electrons. Okay, secondary emission ratio, how we can calculate the secondary emission ratio? Then it is nothing but the ratio of number of secondary electrons and number of primary electrons. The value of secondary emission ratio should be as high as possible. Okay, for a metals its value varies from 0.5 to 1.6. Okay, after that, the value of this ratio can be increased to range of 3 to 10 if we use the composite surface such as CS2O deposit on the base of the silver with a surface film of a absorb calcium on the CS2O. That is, some materials are used, that is commonly used secondary emissive materials are what? That is alkali antimonide, after that beryllium oxide, magnesium oxide MgO, gallium phosphide, gallium arsenide phosphide, then lead oxide. These are the secondary materials. Okay, these are the secondary emissive materials which are used. After that, what are the applications? Applications are in a current amplification, for example in a photomultiplier tube, then spatial amplifying tubes and early computer memory tubes. Okay, early computer memory tubes. Then what is the, now we will go for last emission, that is field emission. The field emission or a cold emission takes place when the direction of applied electric field is such that electrons are attracted out of the metal. The proportional energy, the potential energy required at the surface of the material for extraction of electrons from it is given by, that is phi plus EF, that is Fermi level. So if we see the graph of potential energy of an electron versus distance from the conductor, then we get some conclusion, that is when the external field is large, the energy required to extract the electrons from the metals is small. Okay, so some materials and materials used for the field emission is what? The basic material used in the field electron emitters as a substrate is a silicon. Then in the mid 1990s, scientists were interested in materials like amorphous and diamond like carbon. Then in the recent years, the carbon nanowalls or wide band gap semiconductors materials are also being used. Then applications of the electrons, that is electronic information display, that is nothing but the field emission display. After that, microwave generation, then x-ray generation, and space vehicle neutralization. This is about the applications. So in next video we will discuss the next topic, that is superconductivity, okay, of that material. After that, factors deciding the energy transfer or a thermoelectric effect, okay. After that, electrical and thermal conductivity of the metals. In the next video we will discuss that. Thank you.